ECSI fans, do you want to revolutionize your sports investing habits? Allow me to tell you about WagerWire. WagerWire is an app that helps you become a superior bettor by allowing you to sync all of your sports books and track all of your bets in one place. See your current action, your betting history, and stats. You can also sign up for sportsbooks and collect bonus offers. Follow them at WagerWire on X, as they're the best account on the platform. Head to the App Store or Play Store now and search WagerWire to download the app. From the ECSI Sports Studios and the #1 sports investors in America, we bring you the closing bell. As the market closes, legends Jeff Dawson and Riley Magnuson bring you all the sports investing tips for tonight's matchups. If you want to learn more from the two legends at the desk, make sure you stay tuned to the closing bell.
Good afternoon, sports fans from all around the globe. This is East Coast Sports Investors Closing Bell for Tuesday, September 3rd. I am for this evening's solo host, Riley Magnuson, coming to you live for a little quick Tuesday night action. Going to be lightning fast, late getting the bell out here today. So going to be breezing right through some things, getting a few baseball thoughts in today. I, like everyone else, I'm sure, is already trying to figure out what I'm going to be doing without any college football these next couple of days. And obviously, we got NFL coming up on Thursday, so that'll fill the void, obviously. But Thursday through Monday, obviously not the last 2 days of marathon, but felt like a marathon. Thursday, Friday night's games feel like a century ago. So a lot of fun things going on this past weekend in the world of football. A lot of ugliness. Florida State, obviously, 0-2 to start the season with not only 0-2. I mean, if they opened up the season with LSU like they've done in the past, or another solid FBS team, then you could at least see how they got to that point. But coming into the season 0-2, Georgia Tech, and then following that up at home against Boston College, and again, both those teams. Especially Boston College offensively exploited at least Florida State's game plan and weaknesses there. So credit to Bill O'Brien coming out of the gates hot. The running game last night for Boston College looked fantastic. So by no means am I crowning them ACC champions, but for the most part, Florida State, even 0-2 to start the season would be one thing if you had the entire conference schedule ahead of you. But now you've got 0-2 overall and 0-2 in conference. So it is ugly sledding from this point on for Norvell and Florida State. Not saying they can't end up salvaging their season a bit and having a decent record, but if they don't turn things around, it is obviously going to get uglier and uglier. And the noise after, obviously unfortunate that they didn't make the college football playoff. But from that point on, they've been taking beat down. Their point differential is looking pretty ugly these last 3-4 games, whatever it is now. So feel for that fan base after kind of feeling like they rose out of the ashes last couple of years. And not to say that they are down back in it again, but obviously ugly spot that they find themselves in there. So like I said, going to be lightning fast today. You got Scotty Webb coming up in 14 minutes. So I will be, if you've been with me solo before, I like to get in and out of here. Obviously, love to talk about what we saw all throughout the weekend in college football. Miami puts the work down on Florida. I'm talking about a team that could be ACC champs. That Miami team looks like they are for real, going into the swamp and getting the not easy win, because it was a good battle for some of it, but for the most part a fairly ho-hum victory for them there. And obviously you had down the line some ugly blowouts. Notre Dame goes into Texas A&M, impressive win there. Texas A&M, again, 0-1 non-conference game, so they can obviously rise from the ashes out of that. But obviously would have been a great start for them. That is a tough hole after some expectations to get themselves going there. And then that USC LSU game, an exciting game. Miller Moss just looked a little bit better than LSU's offense there, and put some really nice throws together there those last quarter and a half or so for USC there. So interested to see where both of those teams go. USC obviously in the Big Ten now. LSU a non-conference loss, so again not dead yet, but offense didn't quite look where they needed to be. Defense at times didn't quite look like they needed it where they needed it to be. So I think they could still be a potential top 25 team the rest of the way here, but not holding my breath as far as an SEC contender at this point, at least. Obviously, week 1, don't want to put too much stock into it. They've got a couple games to get their feet wet underneath them. Got an easy one potentially this weekend here. So as for college football, that about does it. We will get you ready the rest of this week for Thursday and Friday nights NFL action, as well as at some point, obviously, Sunday's games. I got my Packers in Brazil on Friday night, hoping that they can maybe I've been listening to the wrong people, but hopefully they don't have any issues as far as a lot of different factors, it sounds like there. But obviously we've got Ravens-Chiefs on Thursday night there. So a few MLB games to look for tonight or beware of, maybe some favorites or not, surprisingly not favorites in some cases here. And then I will go ahead and get on out of here, my friends. You got some big spreads on the board here tonight. White Sox and Orioles, Rockies and Braves, a couple of real big favorites in those games there. Phillies and Blue Jays, and one that is definitely one worth looking through and talking through here. You got the Phillies 81-56, Blue Jays, who for a second were putting some wins together, but now this last few days have been putting those losses back together like we had seen from them all season long. They are the home team, the Blue Jays, as right about now -120 favorites or so. Part of that is respect to the pitching matchup. They've got Chris Bassett on the mound, who hasn't been anything special this year. He was good last time out, 6 2/3, 5 hits, 1 earned run, no 1 walk, 9 Ks. So very solid last time out. A little hit or miss most of the season. Other than that, though, part of the reason potentially here is you've got Tyler Phillips on the mound for the Phillies. This is his rookie season. He has been making some regular appearances here for the last couple of months, and it hasn't gone fantastic. Started out of the gates okay. These last 3, though, 5 hits, 8 earned runs allowed the first start of August, 6 hits, 4 earned runs allowed, 9 hits, 5 earned runs allowed. So these last 3 have not gone well at all for Phillips there. And this is one where even with that matchup with Bassett on the mound, maybe this is leaning towards a good Bassett performance. Maybe this is both that and an ugly Phillips performance here. But you've got -118, -120, like I said, for the Blue Jays. And on the team total, you could find plus money here. So if you're going to back the Phillies, I would say, and you're saying, man, I can get the Phillies at plus money. You can get a plus money on the team total as well, because you might see something and think Bassett is in for an ugly one here, and you still like this Phillies offense. Tyler Phillips could be ugly for you there. And on the flip side there, if you're interested in the Blue Jays, instead of taking a -120, you might as well go for the team total there, plus money at 4.5 as well. So, again, I am kind of beware of the Phillies tonight here in this game. But again, if you're desperate for the Phillies, maybe take a look at their team total instead. If you're really loving this Blue Jays team tonight and think Tyler Phillips is going to put another stinker himself up there, then go ahead and take their team total at some plus money instead of the instead of the -120, 118, whatever it is. Even if it gets to -110, you're probably still looking at a better number or a better situation on the team total there for them. Another one that was interesting to me to look at, Guardians in Kansas City. This Kansas City team, after knocking on the door on this Cleveland team for the AL Central, 6 losses in a row, including yesterday to Cleveland. This series is in Kansas City here, but the offense for Kansas City these last during this losing streak, these last 5 games, has not been pretty, has not gone over 2 runs in each of the last 4 games. The latter 3 before yesterday's game against Cleveland was in Houston. And you've got this other surprising part about this game, with Cleveland being -130 on the road in Kansas City. You obviously got that losing streak. You also got Brady Singer on the mound for Kansas City, who's obviously pitched very well for them all season long here. He has been a little more hit or miss lately. The month of August has actually not been pretty. He's had 2 good redemption starts, but he's had 3 mixed in there that are ugly. Last time out was a little bit of a redemption start. Didn't end in a win for the Royals, but 6 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, 6 Ks. So, again, that was a bounce back from an 11-hit, 5 earned run outing the time before. But the fact that they are coming in, it was open at -120, comes up to -130 with Singer on the mound as dogs like this is a little concerning to me. The one nice thing, and part of that, obviously, you might say is the Royals' offense, lack of offense lately. Tanner Bybee on the mound for Cleveland. Last 2 has not been pretty. He also has been very solid for Cleveland most of the season. Last 2, 8 hits in each of the last 2, 4 and 5 runs these last 2. So kind of suggests to me that we are in for a good Tanner Bybee start here. So I might be interested, instead of Cleveland at the full game here, I might be interested in Cleveland on the first 5 with believing a little Tanner Bybee action there. You get a better price on it. That's a little bit more respect to Brady Singer there. That's a little closer of the line there, but -118 on the first 5. But I do think you're going to get a good Tanner Bybee performance here tonight, and that is part of why we're seeing what we're seeing here. Cleveland's offense, to mention, has been woken up these last little stretch here. They have won 4 of their last 5. Goose egg on that loss there, but 7 runs, 10 runs, 6 runs, 4 runs yesterday. So their offense has picked up in a big way this last week or so here, and is really after a little bit of a scare there for a second there. Not saying they're out of the woods. Obviously got a couple more games, important games with Kansas City. If Kansas City can get these 2 wins here, and then this Kansas City lead, their deficit goes to 2.5. So still got to take care of business here. But after it being a 1-2 game lead on Kansas City and Minnesota, it's 3.5, 4.5 now. So a little bit more breathing room, but could use one of these next 2 games in Kansas City to really feel good about themselves there. Kansas City's got Minnesota after this, so a really, really big stretch. Bad time for Kansas City's offense to go dead. But anyways, first 5 for Cleveland is what I'm looking for tonight in that one. Paul Skeens Day in Chicago. Pirates -125 on the road here in Chicago against Kyle Hendricks. Honestly, would have liked to see a bigger number in favor of Paul Skeens here against the Kyle Hendricks guy in Kyle Hendricks, who has not been pitching that well. The first 5 is a much, much bigger number here, but as we've seen from some of these Paul Skeens starts, the back end has been a little ugly lately. But still, to that point, I would have respected a bigger number in favor of the Pirates and Paul Skeens here. This is Skeens' second time in a row facing this Cubs lineup. 4th time all season long. So if there's ever a day where Paul Skeens regresses a little bit, it would be this one. 5 innings, 5 hits allowed to this Cubs team last time out this past Wednesday. So again, facing him for a second time in a row, facing them for the 4th time all season long. He started the season, or his season in the majors, 2 starts against Chicago. So the Cubs have had plenty of time to see him. So if there was ever a time for them to wake up a little bit, they have been. They lose to the Pirates yesterday, but their bats have woken up a bit. So I'm honestly a little interested in. Maybe you'd go full game instead of the first 5. Maybe you go a little Cubs team total over 3.5, right around even money. So I actually think the Cubs are a little live on Paul Skeens here today. So that is what I will leave you with here today. Obviously, I do love me a good Paul Skeens, a shovin', if you will. So I am, if I'm proven wrong, I will eat that one on the chin there for sure. But just a few quick games to get in and out of here for the closing bell here today, my friends. So I will make way, without further ado, for Mr. Scotty Webb coming in to talk some bases himself, all things MLB. So much love and shout out to him coming up here in a few minutes. So stick around for that, my friends. I do not have much else to give out to you today. Stay tuned with us for the rest of the week on, obviously, baseball still plugging along here. College football and NFL coming up this week and weekend. Obviously going to be a massive talking point going forward. And maybe a little UFC at the end of the week as well. We will probably sprinkle that in a little bit ourselves here that rest of the week, my friends. So I will go ahead and get on out of here. Thank you for stopping by tonight for this short and sweet closing bell. And without further ado, I will see y'all later. I don't believe I will be back tomorrow, but I could be wrong on that. This Labor Day week's a little wonky, so I might be speaking a little too soon on that one. Might have something else in the works myself as far as football season goes. So stay tuned for that. But other than that, I will go ahead and get on out of here. Stay tuned for some Scotty Webb tonight, my friends, here in a few minutes. I will see you later.